Guys, so we have a big breaking news coming out when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Declaration of war. NATO can destroy Russian enclave faster than ever. US general warns. As Putin henchmen say strike would unleash World War III. Wow. Tensions are really skyrocketing between the US and the bear. So yesterday we talked about Kaliningrad. All right, you have a US general, some very important people here said that they could destroy one of the bear territory, the Russian territory, which is Kaliningrad, if the bear invades Europe. Now today the bear is basically responding to those threats. So we're gonna see what's going on here, guys. Before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, once again, we do have the PayPal link and the Cash App link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you so much for your support. Things are not looking good nowadays, guys. I just posted a video about Marjorie Taylor Greene, the congresswoman, sounding the alarm. She's saying that Donald Bill, the new one, is the mark of the beast. So we are definitely seeing some Bible prophecy here. A senior U.S. Army general has warned to launch a faster than ever strike on a bear WW3 flashpoint. General Christopher, commander of the Sleeping Giant Army, Europe and Africa, said NATO could capture Kaliningrad, a Moscow strategic military fortress in the heart of Europe. Once again, that's not not good. The bear warned not to touch that region. The question is, why would the sleeping giant want to mess with that territory? Why? The sleeping giant is asking for trouble. They are poking the bear. They are provoking the bear. The bear fortress in Europe, sleeping giant, has threatened to take over Kaliningrad in case of a full-blown war with the bear. Here's a map. Okay, you see all those blue territory? Those are NATO countries. You see that little red dot right there, that little tiny red dot right there? Well, that belongs to the bear. All right, so that little red dot is surrounded by Poland. It's surrounded by Lithuania, Latvia. It's surrounded by the Baltic. It's surrounded by NATO. And so you have Sleeping Giant, General, and some very important people are saying we could take that Kaliningrad and obliterate it. Destroy it. And the bear's not pleased. The bear's not pleased. Now, give me a second here, guys. Sometimes this news article could be notorious when it comes to, reading their article, because it freezes computer. It just slow down your complete computer. This, the New York Times, the Daily Mail, they have too much viruses in their website. Wedged between Poland and Lithuania, the region of Kaliningrad is heavily militarized by the bear. It is cut off from the rest of Putin's empire, but could be used by the who to launch a strike on Europe. Using the strategic exclave, the bear could also take over the Suwalki Gap, a hard-to-defend strip of land less than 60 miles wide that links the rest of the NATO countries to the Baltic nations. Speaking to Defense News, the Sleeping Giant General said that NATO has developed a plan to capture the location in case of a full-scale conflict with the bear. I don't know why they keep messing with the bear. They keep messing with the bear. They keep messing with the bear. They will never learn. They will never learn the lesson. What's going to come out of all this is going to be mushroom clouds. I truly apologize about the buffering, guys. Look at this. It's buffering really bad. It's, again, every time I read from this website, it just literally slowed down my computer. Sorry about that, guys. As long as you can hear me, that's the most important thing. He said you can now take Kaliningrad down from the ground in a time frame that is unheard of and faster than we've ever been able to do. We already planned that and we already developed it. The mass and momentum problem that the bear possessed to us would develop the capability to make sure that we can stop that mass and momentum problem. The Kremlin has ramped up its nuclear rhetoric. You hear that? The bear country has ramped up its nuclear rhetoric after the threats with Putin, who accusing the sleeping giant of unleashing WW3. Things are looking pretty bad. Remember, the former leader of the bear, Dmitry said, look, we should do a preemptive strike. Send him a message. Donald. What's going on here, Donald? What's going on, Donald? You lost track here. The tirade from the bear capital comes as the Kremlin pushes on with its war against Ukraine, launching nightly bombing raids to wreak havoc or chaos. Meanwhile, Donald agreed to sell defense system to Ukraine and slap brutal 100% tariffs on the bear if Moscow does not reach a peace agreement with Ukraine within 50 days. There's another message Donald is sending. This time it's not to Iran. This time it's to the bear. You have Slutsky, the hardline chairman of the Bear Parliamentary Committee on International Affairs, warned any strike on the Kaliningrad region will mean a strike on the bear, with all due retaliatory measures stipulated among other things by its nuclear doctrine. He accused the sleeping giant general of voicing a plan to unleash World War III with a subsequent global standoff and no winners. Even the bear's saying nobody's going to win World War III. No one's going to win it. You know what's going to happen, guys? The sky will be filled with flying objects. And no. I'm not talking about drones. I'm talking about things that can make mushroom clouds all over the place and block the sun. We're talking about nukes. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be firing not hundreds, possibly thousands. And the most powerful people in the world, they're going to go to the nice, beautiful underground city, the $21 trillion underground city. They're going to go to their Denver underground city. Putin's probably go to his bunker somewhere in the mountain. All the very powerful ones will run to the caves or to the mountains and tell the rocks to fall on us and hide us from the one who sits on the throne, for his wrath has come. I do believe the tribulation's around the corner. We are definitely seeing nation against nation that's happening and is building up. He accused the sleeping giant general of voicing a plan to unleash World War III with a subsequent global standoff and no winners. Slutsky said the U.S. general should take this into account before making such statements. Politician Sergei, the Bear Parliamentary Committee on Defense and Security, said Kaliningrad is the Bear territory. Kaliningrad is Russian territory. And such warning are essentially a declaration of biblical war. So they're warning the sleeping giant and the alliance and ATO not to touch that. He claimed the bear was acting humanely in Ukraine, but a full-scale war with NATO will be a different conversation. Kaliningrad MP Andrei added, NATO don't have the guts to take on the bear. Is that true? Yeah, they don't. They don't have the guts. I'm sorry, guys. The sleeping giant, the sleeping giant and ATO, they don't have the guts. They don't have the guts. I mean, they send checks, they send money, they send equipment, but they won't announce and say, let's go one-on-one. They won't do that. They don't have the guts. So it says here, military expert Ivan said this is still a bear region that has strategic importance and is very well protected. Any attempt to act provocatively against the Kaliningrad region will provoke retaliatory actions by all armed forces of the Bear Federation. What is the Suwalki Gap? Well, the 60-mile strip Suwalki Gap is wedged between Belarus and the Russian enclave of Kaliningrad. It has massive strategic importance for NATO and the EU, as well as the Bear, if conflict were to erupt. Now, for the West, it is the only land linked to the three ex-Soviet Baltic republics, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, which are seen as a vulnerable to Putin if the current East-West tensions worsens. For the Bear, control of the corridor would give a land link to Kaliningrad, the main base of Putin Baltic fleet. The Suwalki Gap, spanning the Polish-Lithuanian border, has seen an influx of troops as NATO nations strengthen their borders for fear of provocation from the bear-linked Belarus. So you guys know Kaliningrad is a very important territory to the Bear, but they sandwiched with all these alliances of NATO just surrounding it. NATO's like looking right at it, and the Bear from a far distance saying, "You touch that, it's game on. It's game on." The sleeping giant is really poking the Bear, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but Donald is poking the Bear. Donald, you really provoking the Bear. Remember what you said? We need to end this in 24 hours, not start WWE3. The sleeping giant slammed the Bear nuclear rhetoric. Sleeping Giant State Department spokeswoman said regarding any kind of nuclear commentary or preemptive strikes, etc. Let's just say that rhetoric does not improve regional security. She warned that, as U.S. Commander-in-Chief Donald has said, the world nuclear should not be treated casually. And we have seen these kinds of reckless and unhelpful statements before. The sleeping giant remained committed to ending the biblical war in Ukraine peacefully, hopefully through diplomacy. It comes after ex-Russian leader Dmitry said that WWE3 has already begun. It has already begun. And that his boss, Putin, should drop a, you know what, on the West. Not Ukraine, but on the West. Dmitry, deputy chairman of the Bear Security Council, raged that the alliances, NATO and the West, are effectively already at biblical war with the Bear, as he pushed the Kremlin view that his land is the victim. That's despite it being the Bear who invaded Ukraine and is continuing to wage a biblical war. Now it says here, give me a second, guys, give me 1 second. Yeah, this website. I mean, it's really good. I like the article, but man, it's just terrible. They need to fix it. All right, so Dmitry accused the sleeping giant in Europe of an attempt to destroy the bear, which is hated by the West, he claimed. Diplomats say his remarks give an indication of the thinking among some within the Moscow political elite. All right, so that's where we are right now, guys. That is where we at right now. This is a very important news here, guys. Sleeping Giant, the alliance's NATO, basically threatening to obliterate and destroy Kaliningrad. If the bear escalate the biblical war, the former leader of the bear, Dmitry, is urging Putin, man, we need to send a message, preemptive strike. We already in WWE3, Donald's sending stuff. They literally sending stuff now. So again, this is where we are right now, guys. I'm gonna keep you updated when it comes to nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. Thank you so much for watching. For those of you that want to send us letters, a prayer request, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Once again, guys, $5 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream once a week. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.